Try setting these all the way through.
She just saw that she was worried about it. Check her messages.
Oh, now you can hear me? Okay. I think the channel was set up a little wrong, so it was like not putting through. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Sweet. Right. Well, I did a whole lot of talking. I guess none of that came through. Awesome. Glad to hear you now. Okay, cool. Yeah, let me actually turn that down just a little bit. I'm not actually listening to a YouTube video. I just got music playing in the background. That's my family is talking in the background. That's probably who you're hearing. Um, I try to crank them down a little bit. Hold on, let me see if I can crank them down a little more. I keep the mic close to me. I can turn them down a little bit. That might help. All right, there we go. Now you should be able to hear me and not so much them. All right, cool. But yeah, so let me rewind a little bit. I'm working on some UI tonight. I don't know how much time I'll have, um, but yeah. There we go. But yeah, so I'm working on a little UI tonight. I'm getting ready for Steam Deck support requires UI scale tweaking. And so because of that, I've been sort of working through the different required items. There we go. Yeah, give me one sec. All right. Sweet. All right. So I've got, yeah. Sorry, people were talking in my ear. So I've got some things I need to add to support the Steam Deck, specifically UI scale tweaking, and then I need to look at keyboard controls. And when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about like if you're typing text, you can do that on a keyboard just fine, right? But a Steam Deck doesn't come with a built-in keyboard, so you have to support a widget to actually enter text in. And by default, Unreal Engine kind of does and kind of doesn't. It's a little confusing as to how the actual support works. So I've been looking into that and trying to figure out how that actually works. So I'm going to take a quick break, grab a drink, but I should be back here in a second. So. on. I'll turn myself back up just a little bit now that they're gone out of my ears. All right. So let's see. Do I actually have my controller with me? I do not. Oh, actually, yes I do. Never mind. I'm gonna work on adding some controller support for one of my widgets that I hadn't worked on yet. Now that I got all that stuff in place, let's go back to my UI. Widget, ship screens. I believe. Oh no, it might have been under. It's gonna be one of my older screens. That's right. It's just gonna be under my main UI. So my ship details, yeah. Which, oof, yeah, this is just a regular old user widget. Pain, glorious pain. All right. Let's see here. All right. Where do I want to start? All right. If we're gonna add UI support, easiest way to start is to actually reparent this entire thing to a common activatable widget. And then we're going to override. So we don't need to override the on key down anymore. Which, oh man. Oof. Yeah, we're doing a lot of things the bad way. I'm just gonna outright delete that because I don't need that anymore. Now we're gonna override the let's see, we're gonna want the back action for sure. And then we're gonna want get desired focus target. There we go. When they first load up the screen, what do we want our focus target to be? I'm thinking probably crew details. That's the one that makes the most sense. So if you're quickly trying to click one of these, you can just click crew details. So desired focus target to crew. I believe that's this button. Make sure. Yes. Oh, this is not a common button, so we're going to replace this one. I guess I called them WBP button base. Yeah, there we go. So we're going to drag in one of these, and this is crew details, and we're going to get rid of that one, duplicate it, and call this one magazine, and then get rid of that one, put the spacer between them. All right, and then actually let's go ahead and put our min width a little higher so we can actually have it fill up some space. Yeah, like that. Add a little extra space on the spacer. Alright. And then save. Yes, gonna break things. And then we'll have a button base here. Let's add to the canvas panel. We're gonna put it in the upper right. One, and then give a little text. This is going to be a close button style, right? Or do I have a... This is close, I think. What did I use for the other ones? Because this doesn't seem right. I'll make sure they're all matching across the board. Okay, it's just because I wrapped them in the size box. It might be easier, but just grab this copy, then get rid of this, get rid of this exit button, and then just paste this here. Do one. And then be like -110 by what? 100? Nah, 110. Okay. Should have known. Should have known. Kind of odd looking. Oh, yeah, because these are also doing something a little different here. Yeah, there's some padding going on there. So we will just size the content. That'll all look the same. All right. So now our main focus button is going to be our crew details, which actually I need to update it to be this new crew details button. Welcome, welcome. I see we got a third person joining. Howdy, howdy. This will be our magazine button. And then our exit button, or back button, I guess that works just the same. Alright, so back on clicked, then we'll do crew details on clicked. And where is our magazine on clicked? Magazine on clicked is going to replace here. Crew details on clicked will replace here. Then back. It's going to be up here. Let's make sure we have a focusable. So all the way up here. Focus is focusable. Okay, yeah. And so it'll activation focus. Oh, ads. Damn ads. I'll mute that while it's running an ad because screw their ads. Get crew. Yeah. So hit back. Crew details. Get. I think that is the majority. There's probably one or two things. Like I'll probably need to fix up this depending on how this actually gets the focus. It should work. I don't see why it wouldn't. Alright, music's back. There we go. Let's see. I need to change this because I'm not doing it quite right there. Since I changed it to a common activatable widget, I need to actually update how I'm activating it. I'm not pushing it to the correct stack, probably. So let's actually grab it. I'm going to grab it and drag it into here now that it's got a common activatable widget as the base. It is now part of my base widget, ship screens. And then, okay, so this gets added. As part of my stack for the it's not in the old one, is it? Because it's the... Oh, that's probably... Because it's going to be under... Yeah, because I think I moved that to be under part of... Is it missile design? Now where have you... I know I didn't put the same word crazy. I've been reorganizing all of my different elements, and so I probably just stuck it somewhere either it doesn't belong or I'm missing it completely. Yeah, no, it's not under those. All right, let's search for, I think we call this systems. Let's go all the way back this far. Kind of odd. I know it's here. Even if it's in a weird place. Okay, I'm trying to think. So, easiest way to find this is going to be player, my main player controller, or sorry, not player controller, player pawn. Let's go to my UI toggles. It's under my fleet interface, command interface choices. There we go. Create ship system UI. Well, that's where I want to actually change this. So this is the part I was actually looking for. So at least it's that. And then if I'm looking for where it actually came from. Oh yeah. Need to make sure to do a refresh all out with those changes I made. Refresh all nodes. There we go. Alright, so create ship subsystem. Ship details. That's why. It's because it's under ship details. This should be... I know. That's the new thing that I'm creating. Where am I actually adding this thing to? Okay, just straight viewport. So let's go here. Radio menu class. Is this it? There we go. Okay. Yeah, it's still got the old naming convention, so we're gonna update this. This is the actual ship system command interface. It's actually a widget blueprint, so we're gonna update this to be WBP. There we go. Let's actually just take this out of here. So it was there, hidden the whole time. I'm just blind as a freaking bat. Move this to ship screens, move here. Alright, now that's where I'm going to want it to be. So, when I hit this button, I call back, I say, hey, here's the button I hit, goes to the player, player goes, okay, here we go, I'm going to spawn this UI element, which spawn ship details UI, which I need to, oh, that's a bad name, I need to rename that one as well. Okay. They shouldn't be getting created or anything like that. This needs to be actually pushed onto the stack. So oh man, I was doing everything the wrong way here. So we're going to load it in, and then we're going to push to our stack. Do we? Yes, so we're going to grab this, convert to a validated get. If it is valid, then we'll do a push menu of this type. And common activatable widget convert to a purecast. Yeah, because this is a common activatable widget, right? The base. Yeah. It's just not liking how I'm setting it up. So we're gonna push the menu if it's valid. If it's not valid, then we need to create the pause menu. Which I think I actually have a function that already does that. So let me just close some of these and we'll take a look. Because I believe in the pause system. So when I actually pause the game, there we go. Create pause UI. So it looks, goes pause menu, loads class, yeah. So this one we actually want to add to the viewport because we're not pushing. So we can just copy this functionality, collapse to function, and we'll just call this create pause stack. And it returns a reference to the pause stack. So that actually works perfectly. So come back here. All right. So ship systems, if that doesn't already exist, which I actually don't care about that anymore. Because now that we're pushing, activating, deactivating, you don't actually need to worry about keeping the reference around. It'll just automatically be there and you can just activate it, deactivate it as needed. So we'll go in here and we go, okay, if it's not valid, then before we push, we're going to want to grab that function, create pause stack, and then push to it. Actually, just set it here, pause stack. Right. Just to make sure I am doing the right thing. Yeah. So I should rename this not to be pause menu, but pause stack. That is more accurate. We push the menu to the stack. So there we go. That will come back up and we'll try again to get the validated pause stack. And then from there, it's going to push the menu. So we don't actually need a reference here, which do we use that reference anywhere? Hopefully not. We do not, other than to clear it. So we can actually just remove this. Which that's very nice. Probably ought to get rid of that here before too long too. Alright, so we pushed our menu, we got our pause stack, we got our new system command interface. So we're gonna go here, ship systems view, and we don't need to worry about focus because we have that focus target we're gonna set up here in a second. Done. So we're just gonna come in here and on. So as part of construct, we're doing all of these. And then, yeah, on complete, we're going to do set focus. And then we're going to do, where is our, here we go, get desired focus target. Oh, I forgot you have to drag it off here and get desired focus target. It's weird that you can't just grab it straight from that menu, but oh well. Alright, so got our desired focus target. Set the focus. Oh yes, the back button. Instead of what we probably were doing before, which was remove from parent, we'll remove tag, and then we'll actually deactivate widget. And that'll just be a reference to self. That will pop that back off of the stack. So if there's anything else that is here, it's good to go, but otherwise, let's see. Ship systems, back, ship systems. All right. And that is one thing we need to change. So we only want to do that on construct. Otherwise, we'll just keep rebuilding over and over, as you can see. Unless we just clear everything, which might be worth it because we do want that information to update pretty much every single time that's closed and reopened. We don't need to worry about storing any kind of extra information there. So I'll just shrink all this down. All right, so we're gonna grab the engineering teams box and put that here. When we load in, I know we have the ship diagram. There we go. This one might require a little extra work to clear out. Let's actually go take a look at the ship diagram, make sure that it might be easy, but it might also require a little extra work depending on how I have that set up. Diagram. Yeah, there we go. Oh, and a lot of these older ones have a lot of bad naming conventions from when I was first starting out, because I'm basically upgrading and replacing a lot of these older systems. Okay, we do have a main H box that we can clear, which I thought I did on construct.
Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at Salsonite.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
Wonder, I should be able to just call refresh UI.
She can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit Chase.com.
Oh no, that does that.
Make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
I'm gonna set up UI. Ah, but I don't clear it. Okay, cool. So if I just come in here, do clear children beginning, that will clear all of those. Yeah. It feels like every time, like, I basically use this project to learn, because like, I mean, I've been in Unreal Engine for, I want to say 8 years now, back when UE3 was just ending and we were moving to UE4. And when I was in UE4, I was in college, so I learned some stuff, but a lot of it was focused on level design and sort of like UI UX from a more software side, a little bit less from the Unreal Engine side. And then, but I was using Unreal Engine just in a more limited capacity. Then I graduated and I had more free time, so I actually started using it more frequently. But now I'm realizing all of the old stuff I did is out of date. I want to redo it, or slightly like torn up. And so I went through and I spent like 2 months just redoing and overhauling a bunch of really old systems, which is great now because now my game runs like way better than it did before. But every time I see an old system that I missed or I just didn't do at the time because it wasn't really needed to do, it's like, oh, I feel like I want to go back and redo all those as well. Okay. So the engineer's getting cleared now. The UI is getting cleared. That should fix that. So let's go back to our ship details UI. This is the one where I wasn't yet clearing. Clear children. Get H box. H box. And we'll just do clear here as well. I know I technically think I'm doing that in the other place, but this is a way to guarantee. Now this might break things because it might be clearing too often, but let's just see what this does. Testing and breaking things is the easiest way to find out what you don't know. Oh, cool. So it did break, but I should be able to fix that. Let's see if I close and reopen. But it doesn't continue to break, so that's good news. Okay. So let's go back to ship details. I think this main H box I might be able to just get rid of. And if I've done the other thing correctly, and I just did that a little extra. Hey, there we go. Perfect. All right. So now we got this all working. So now we can see we got our engineering teams, their crew members, their veterancy rank, their team lead's photos, what station they're in. It's currently, okay, that does work. That's right. I hide them when they're not, when they're in the engineering base. That's when they're in their safe zone. That's where they're protected. So that's why you don't see them show up on the map. They can still die, but the rate at which they die is, like, basically your ship has to get destroyed to lose engineering teams. They're basically in hardened bunkers. But if they're anywhere else, so let's say like forward bays or forward compartments, you can see here you've got like a little marker saying what rank, but then also, as you can see, they're in different parts of the engine. They can get damaged and stuff, which I do want to change this. I'm thinking about maybe making this be like the team number or team name or something on top of that. That was just like a placeholder I put in. But all right. For now, we have fixed the command interface. So that is all working. So let's make sure that this works on controller. Let me switch over to my Xbox controller I got here. Okay, so going that way does break it, but I think that's just because of the this down here, which I know there's a way to fix that because I used those elsewhere. Let me see. Can I go to these? Okay, these all work, but I can't go back up. Okay, so that's where it breaks. That's where it goes up, but into oblivion. I wonder. So I use drop downs in my menu. I'm wondering if that's just a implementation problem because it's using the old system from before. Because I don't believe I have this same problem with my UI for my pause menu. Let's see. So I pause, go to settings. Yeah, so these let me go through and scale up and stuff, so I just need to correct that. Although I need to figure out a way to skip this, so if they want to not edit any buttons, they don't have to scroll all the way through just to get down to the save. I wonder, how can I do that? I'll figure it out. I'll see how other people do it later. But for now, I'm just going to hit back. Don't save. Oh, well, I probably should fix that. If you hit don't save, it probably should clear the values back to the default. It clears them here, but I want people to see them. Alright, swap all your icons to a font. I haven't. I've heard of people doing that. And I know that there's a way Common UI handles icons in a interesting way. I don't know much about it. I've never been able to get it to work very well, but I have seen people use it. I've been rushing to get this thing out the door. I've been working on it too long. Want to move on to the next game. Speaking of which, I just realized, yeah, there's no way to focus that to change the version you're in. So I wonder if I come here. Yeah, which that's fine. You're on controller. You probably don't care about switching these. These are more important if you're on mouse and keyboard. Okay. Anyways, back to this. Oh, hey, there we go. Probably should put is valid here. I mean, it really shouldn't throw an error because it's supposed to be like a message, but oh, probably shouldn't put is not valid. Probably should put that is valid. And the same for the bottom section here. So when you activate or deactivate, it will trigger that blur strength. Menu. All right. I guess actually I could probably directly do the blur, because that way if the menu stack exists but doesn't have a blur object for whatever reason. All right. So let's go back and test out. Or sorry, we already tested that out. So why is this one different? Probably because this is a default slider. Open up my controls here. This is also default slider. Let's see here. Escape. Oh, you bet it is up here. So focus the S box, scroll box. Betting. So if I come down here to V-box, this shouldn't have any focus. Yeah, oh yeah, no focus. Well, I'll keep hitting caps lock. Yeah, these are set to is focusable. This. Yeah. How are you handling UI controls? Like, are there IAs avoidance? Oh, so with Common UI, you don't do anything. Unless you want to do anything kind of special. It's all built into the, basically uses UMG's navigation system, which already existed. But it doesn't need input action. So like if I open up my controls, so like this is completely Common UI. I have no controls in here whatsoever. All I'm doing is setting the focus. This is for user input settings for changing key bindings. But otherwise, like this is all just like some setup of stuff and some focus items. There's no actual input actions in here. Now there is an exception. There's like on clicked. These are like when these trigger, I'm doing an event, but those aren't, because they're not focusable. That's why those are being done. I mean, that makes sense. Doing the input actions on widgets and adding mapping screen the input. So more than one widgets on screen. Okay. Yeah, see, and that is a problem. Oof, yeah, that's rough. So with Common UI, the way it works is it uses the default focus system, but in a little bit smarter way and a little bit more generic and agnostic way. So if you look at whether you're using Common UI or not, even if you're not, Unreal Engine has a built-in navigation system, left, right, up, down, next, previous, and then sometimes you'll have events. So for Common UI, you've got these events, but for the default, you don't. I believe you've got a couple of other events. But essentially, these are going to be your most useful tools for things that are kind of weird and out of the place. Yeah, okay, so you're not using Common UI. Essentially, it's a little bit harder with enhanced input only when you're using enhanced input. What you want to do is figure out how to set up the focus, because when you have a focus, for example, if you have two UI elements on screen, if you set focus to one but not the other, you have to set up your hierarchy in such a way that you've got a top element or your stack, and then inside of your stack is where your two UI elements are, and they need to be able to be focusable but separately focusable. If you do it like that, if you focus one but not the other, then it should only fire the input for the one. If not, then you may have to do something a little bit more complicated. That is the one benefit of Common UI. It's a pain in the butt to set up. It's like it takes you about 30 minutes to an hour to set up when you're first setting up, and then a little bit extra here and there. But the benefit is I don't set up any input control handling at all. Like there's the very initial things I set up when turning it on. If I go to my player input system, there is these like input data, select and back, and then you've got your input action data table, which is like a couple of UI buttons that you hit. Once you've got those set up though, and you understand how they work, it's literally is like I could create a UI element from scratch and have nothing in it. Yeah. See if I can find a good example. So like this loadout, right? This has on construct, it's doing all of the UI stuff, but there's absolutely no control scheme stuff going on here at all. The only yeah, I don't even have the focus set in here. Literally all this does is when this gets loaded in is it focuses the first thing it sees. So like if I go here to the focus, yeah, supports activation focus. So this main element is not focusable, but it focuses in on one of the options there, and it's just simple. So far, yeah, that definitely would, especially the more widgets you have, that would get really out of hand. Yeah, I'm trying to think what would be the easiest way if you've got what you could do to be smart about this is you have your widgets and you give them custom events that handle like those input systems, but you only actually have the input at the highest level, and then whatever you should be able to pull off from there and just get the focused widget, the currently focused widget, and then only send the events via message or whatever to those widgets. That would be probably the cheapest and easiest way to do it, because if you make it a message, make it a blueprint interface, then it can be generic, it can be sent to any widget ever, and you can make it pretty flexible, and then you just have to handle it on the widget. And the cool thing about that is if you want a widget to handle certain inputs but not others, it wouldn't handle those others if you never just set them up on the widget. That would be my suggestion, because I believe, if I'm not crazy, you can just get focused. Yeah, I'm not sure. There's probably a way to get the focus widget, or you know, just doing that one for loop of finding the focused widget, that would be the cheapest in my mind. Oh yeah, has any use first. That's yeah. So that's what you want to do. That in my mind, at least, if you're going to do it that way, put it the you know, the highest level you can, and then find the one that's active and send it only to that one. That to me at least seems like would make the most sense. All right, so let me come back here, and we're going to go. Left is going to be an explicit, because I think I can just set this explicit and set this to. I'm just gonna set to magazine. And if you go up, I see it says to escape, but it's not quite working right. So we'll say explicit. We'll send it to the back. Let's just see if this works. Sometimes this won't work because it's like weird things are set up in certain ways. Oh yeah, this. I need to check out why this isn't. Yeah, honestly, like that's majority of what I do is through dispatchers and interfaces, because you can do so much with that, and most of the time, not always, but most of the time, it's gonna be significantly cheaper than any other option that you can do. It's just how it goes. I wonder, am I using a different slider? I feel like I can't be, right? Because this is a slider. If I go to my controls, am I using anything crazy here for this slider? This is just a slider, yeah. Yeah, this is straight up a base slider. So why can I adjust these but not the other one? Oh, I wonder if it's a controller lock. Oh, you know what? I bet that's it. Do I have requires controller lock? Yep, that's it. Set mouse use step. I think I did init handle on the other one as well. Let's make sure those all match. Yeah, init handle. That's what it was. Okay, controller lock. So. Yeah, so we don't want that one escaping, but we'll come up here. If you hit right, so this is the hard part. How do you decide which one goes where? We'll say crew details. If you hit right, we shall explicitly take you to back. But if you're at magazine and hit right, we will explicitly take you to engineering teams box. See if that works. No guarantees. Let's find out. Oh, I'm in the wrong thing. My brain just said, you know what, go to the settings. I did not even think twice. Let's resume and then go back here, open up our command interface. Okay, so start crew details, go to magazine. We can now put input. Hold on, I want to raise the step so you have to sit here. Oh god, that takes forever. Oh yeah, we're gonna definitely increase the step. Holy shit, that's gnarly. If I go up here, okay, so that one works. But magazine going right does not seem to work. Let's see. that does work. Okay, that at least takes us back there. Although it does it even from the bottom, which I don't like. So if you want to go back up, it's not extra ton of clicks, but it's not good. So what I can do, that's a weird. It's the same thing. Why is valid throws an error? That's blows my mind. Okay, I guess menu stack it is. Let me close all these. Clear this up a little bit. Okay. So instead of overriding it here, which I didn't even check if it would go back to the left. You know what? I'm a dingus. Let's go back here. Oh. Okay, so that was work. Okay. But I'll probably just want to set it on the engineering. But I don't know what's the top and what's the bottom is the problem. Because I'm doing it dynamically. Well, you know what? Screw it. We shall say left. You're going to explicitly go over to the fuel mixture so they can hit up. They can't hit back to the right, but YouTube's throwing me an error. What are you throwing me an error? YouTube doesn't like something. Oh, there goes. Seems to be back to normal. Okay, so if I go and so that goes left over to fuel. It goes up. That goes up. I wonder, can I do? Yeah, if we do custom boundary and then create a function and then we just say go to the back, just switch, make sure. Yeah. So if we hit the boundary and then we hit up again, then we would go here. Otherwise, we basically don't do jack diddly squat. Although I don't know if it's going to break that if we go back down. We'll see. So, go here. Yeah, so I might want this to just go back. Hey, there we go. Sweet. Okay. So now I just need to fix the magazine going to the right. So this, instead of going, alright, instead of going to engineering teams box, let's just have it go to back. Because then it's like, you know, it's like a big circle of navigation, which still makes sense, at least from a UX point of view. You know, you can think go left, go right, go down, go left. That all still makes sense. The only thing that kind of sucks, although it doesn't work there. That's weird. May have to do another override there, boundary override. If I go right here, roads, if I go up, yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna change. Nope. It's kind of like it's a one-way circle, right? If I go the other way, can't quite complete it. Okay, that's fine. I got it. Which exchange event fire, set a reference to the HUD, and always fire the AIs towards that. Yeah. When it's collapsed, the mapping is removed and left to fires. Yeah, that also makes sense. Two more visible would only fire at the top of the stack. Yeah, that actually makes sense. Yeah, because your top of your stack's gonna be whatever was referenced. Now, one thing you'll want to change, or not change. One thing you want to make sure of is, if you put one on top of the stack, right, and you then remove it, you're gonna make sure that you then get a reference to the one that's still there. So you'll just want to go into your stack and get the top one, whatever's the next in line. Because if you just remove it and don't add another reference back in, then you suddenly lose that. But all right, let's see here. Let's see. So let's fix magazine. This one is just not liking anything, so we're gonna just clear this back to escape. Then custom boundary. And then create function. Switch on navigation. So if it goes down, we'll want to control B. Down, we'll want to take to fuel mixture. Right, we want to take to engineering team spots. That seems to make sense to me. There we go. But then it locks me out. Or did it crash? Yeah, it's losing nav. Okay, so it's not that it's taking it back, it's losing navigation. That's weird. I've never seen that before. Oh, you know what? It's probably not losing navigation. I'm a dingus. It's not going back to back. It's going back to. It might need to be then if my brain immediately goes there. Okay, so it's taking me to engineering box, but I don't want it to take directly to the box. I'd want it to take me to a drop down in the box. Do get shadow index. Just do 0 index. So that should always be the top index, I believe, because I do from top to bottom. And then yeah, okay. So let's just set it to back because back makes sense. If I said the name Shadow of the Shuriken to you, tell me what type of game it is. My thought is Shadow of the Shuriken sounds like, some kind of like ninja game or like a set in like sort of that period. Even if it's not necessarily about ninjas, but like, that sort of era, like Shadows of Toshima, Shadow of the Shuriken. Makes sense. Sweet, okay, that takes me back to back. And I need to change the steps here. So step size is 0.01, so we'll say this goes from 1 to 5, so we'll probably want it to be pretty big jumps, but we still want to allow players to have some flexibility, so we'll say like 0.25. Here's where you can Z. I actually don't. I've never heard of Tenchu Z. I'll have to look it up. I know Hitman, so that I kind of get the vibe of what it probably is. Actually, interesting. Ah, yeah, that's kind of what I pictured. That makes sense. That's cool. That's sort of how I got started with Starlight. Is a lot of like Wing Commander and like sort of that era of spaceship games was always a big thing I loved. It's not necessarily my dream game. I've got a lot of different games I'd like to make, but definitely like I get what you're saying though. It's that vibe of like older games with some new life. Definitely. Yeah, there you go. 0.25 is pretty good. Just that's fast to change. So we're gonna crank it up and down. It doesn't take too terribly long, but you still get some ability to set it. And then yeah, cool. Go ahead and back. Oh, when we deactivate this widget, we're not setting the focus back. Why is that? It should be. I mean, I can hit B, but I need to re-grab that focus. Okay. Ship details UI. U. Remove focus. And you deactivate. Wonder if I go to yes, if I go here and then give it a DPI underscore push menu. I think it's this one that has the interface I'm looking for. No. Okay. Good thing is there's not many elements here. Let me go grab what's the right one that I want. BPI underscore. I think it'd be like update UI. Ah, yep, update UI. Okay. Update UI. Pause stack graph, main stack graph. Now I know that this is pretty much only going to be used for the pause menu, so I'm actually going to delete that. And we will promote this variable. We got pause stack now. What we want to do is we want to set the focus. It shouldn't need to be done, but I've noticed sometimes the deactivating a widget doesn't always set the previous widget correctly. Oh, let's probably do it not like that, but like this. It's like get menu stack, focus, set focus to menu stack. I think if I do that, that should give it the focus back on the controller. Oh, I know what I need to do. This gets, yeah, yep, yeah, because it doesn't support focus there. Better idea rather than doing this is going to my command interface and giving this. I have my desired focus target, and then it's on. Here we go. So focus. I believe. No. Ah, that's what I want. Set focus to parent. Yep. I think I should need to do this though. There should be a better way. What's crazy is from software. Yeah, well, I think that's kind of one of those things that a lot of games, that's just what happens. Like, I mean, look at just recently they released the third in, blanking on the name right now. Yeah, Homeworld 3. Sorry, I couldn't think of the damn name. Homeworld 3, they just released after what, like fucking like 15, 20 years, I think it was, or something like that. It was a huge gap, I feel like, between the original, not the remakes, because they released remakes relatively recently. Let me see here. Original release date. Because it was, yeah, 2003. It was like freaking 20 years later they released a true sequel to it. And that probably will eventually happen for games like that. Just depends. Or like a spiritual successor, even if it's not like a true actual successor. But I know I built in a pretty smart system to handle pushing and pulling. Current modal. You know, that might be a way to do it. Let's add to that interface, update UI. If I don't already have it, no, I don't. So we'll do like reset focus. I should never need this, but on the rare off chances that I need it, like this time, reset focus. Now let's go here. Reset focus, and this will just get our menu stack, get active widget, set focus. Because if I write, that means we can come in here. So deactivate the widget, and we'll just go to our pause stack and reset focus. Even though it's after the deactivate widget, it should still trigger. Because events after, like, you destroy and stuff usually still trigger. It's just no guarantee the further out you go. Yes, it's not getting the focus. So come in, get focus. Go back, and yeah, I lose focus. Yeah, let's see, it's okay. So yeah, it's trying to read none. Could say there's not an active widget, even though there is. So what if we just did get children? No. Oh, I know there's a way to get from a widget. Stack. Oh, you know. Wait, I'm a dingus. Hold on. I just push. I'll leave that there for now in case I need it later. Instead of resetting focus, just push widget. Or menu, I guess technically. Push menu. And then we just select our command system interface. And that should just reactivate it essentially, because it's just, that's all pushing does, just reactivate it. Yes. Oh, but then it opens another instance instead of getting rid of. Okay, not what I want. Why is it opening another instance? Okay. So I've got my command interface. I've selected. Oh, you know what it is? It's the command interface. It's not in the same. Yeah, all of these systems are very old, so all of this is kind of jank. Okay, so my command interface is the problem. I'm not actually in the correct location. Where's my command interface? Create command interface. Create radio UI. Yep, see, here it is. It's just adding to viewport. That's why. Okay. This needs to be updated. That explains it. So we'll get rid of that. Which means I can get rid of this radio menu UI. And get rid of it from that clear. I'll just refresh because that'll help me find it easier. Oh. Or not. I guess it just deleted itself from clear UI. Yeah. Oh, that's weird. Normally it throws a hiss fit. All right. So we create pause stack. I guess if pause stack doesn't exist, so get pause stack, convert to validated get. It's valid, just carry on. It's not valid, go here, then carry on, and set pause stack. And then we load the pause widget, which we don't actually need here because this is already being done. And the radio menu class is being pushed. So we just grab this if it's valid. It's not valid. This means, so the radio menu class, which is our command interface, it's going to load, and then it's going to do push menu to the pause stack. I guess I should probably do this instead. Yeah, because then, well, I'm curious, why did I user widget? Oh, because this is set as a user widget soft class, even though it's actually not necessarily. It's a common activatable. Common activatable soft class reference. Ship UI details. That should. I wonder if that would possibly be part of the problem. Not that I didn't need to update that other part. If I do this, yep, and then that'll convert it correctly. So that pushes, push menu to pause stack, and then adds tag player UI. Okay. Let's just see if that changes anything. Now that I've got that all cleared out a little bit better, a little more updated. Yep, that's what it was. Because of how I was pushing it as a cast, because it was the wrong type. That was the problem. That's why you always check your typings. I should have realized something was up. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, I thought I'd fix it. Well, that just broke everything. Oh no. So why is it getting 2? It should just activate it when I'm pushing it. So I'm at the pause stack. Reference to the pause stack. So let's just delete this. And we'll call on the pause stack. Reset. Focus. What we might want to do is come back here. Reset focus on the pause stack. We want to push not the current menu. We want to push because there's not an active menu. That's the problem. Let's see. Let's see, get all. See, I know there was a way. Let's take a peek. UE get think. Yeah. I'm not sure, that's kind of weird. I swear there is a way to. Oh, I guess I could do. Oh, you know, why don't I just do this clear widgets and then in here in the ship systems. That's the right ship details. Sorry, ship details. Reset focus and then push menu. So reset focus, push menu, and that menu is our command interface. That should maybe work. Let's see. Let's test it out. See if it destroys it and garbage collects it before it can. Hey, there we go. Shouldn't have to do this. I don't know why I'm having to do this. I swear this isn't how this worked. But it works. So, cool beans.
Learn how you can be all you can be at GoArmy.com.
Cool. Alright. That made my brain hurt, and I'm still not sure why it didn't work the way it normally works, which is where you just deactivate your widget and it goes back to the previous widget. Must be something I've done with the activation focus or something. It just really doesn't like. Yeah, it supports. Oh, that's probably it. You know, it's always a simpler answer, but I'm not sure. I'll have to test it off screen. If that is the case, I'll just get rid of all this, but otherwise, I'm going to head out for the night. So, thanks for being here. It's always great to see you, man. But good luck and good hunting. I need to set up a stream shutting down screen so I can have that, but actually let me do that real quick. Source stream